Mind rolling the back one down, please? So that I can see I'm not going to get shot in the face. Ma'am, step out of the vehicle. Step out of the vehicle.
Do not touch me. Please. No. Your camera is running.
Yes, my camera is running. Stop resisting me.
I'm not even resisting.
You are resisting me.
No, I'm not.
Today's guest was pulled over by a deputy from the sheriff's department. The incident that occurred left this woman traumatized along with her daughter. We're going to try to give an unbiased look at the incident. Today's guest is Ashley Macias.
What up, say?
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, that's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family dog, cause this shit done paid our bills.
Today we're going to take a look at Ashley Macias, the incident that occurred when she was pulled over by the sheriff's department, Officer Crawford. And we're going to discuss that and kind of what you went through. But before we do that, tell the audience who you are, where you're from, that kind of deal.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I am a mother of 2. I live here in San Angelo, and I'm a full-time worker.
Yeah. So just give a little summary of what happened without getting into too many details, and then we're going to watch the video. So just give us a little summary of it.
My daughter and I went to go get milk and cookies. We're headed home when, and then I was pulled over.
Can you give a little bit more? What happened?
The deputy asked me to roll down my back window. It took 31 seconds from the moment he said that to him reaching in my vehicle and unlocking the doors. And you'll see more of what happens after that.
Perfect. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at the video, unbiased look at what happened here, and then we're going to break it down. All right, here we go. Okay, so...
North Chadburn, West 27, San Lincoln, 720, San Lincoln, 720. Mind rolling the back one down, please? So that I can see I'm not going to get shot in the face.
Why would you get shot? What are you investigating? Or what are you pulling me over for?
Ma'am, roll the window down, please.
What are you pulling me over for?
Ma'am, step out of the vehicle. Open the vehicle. Yes, it is.
Are you to open
Step out of the vehicle. Step out. Put the phone down and step out. Step out of the vehicle.
Do not touch me.
Step out of the vehicle.
I am, but don't touch me.
Step
That's
out
hard.
of the vehicle.
Is your camera running?
Yes, my camera is running.
Where is
Stop
it?
resisting me.
I'm not even resisting.
You are resisting me.
No, I'm not.
Well, I don't understand why you're acting like this on a traffic stop.
Exactly. Why are you acting like this on a traffic stop?
Ma'am, you are the one.
No,
who's
why are you
escalated this.
arresting me?
I didn't say you're under arrest,
Then
but you're
why are
being
you handcuffing me in
because you're
front of my
being
child?
because you're being detained right now.
No, with my hair.
Back here.
I have a kid in the car.
Yeah, I understand. Right here. Now, do you have a driver's license?
Of course I do. I'm driving, ain't I?
Okay. That doesn't mean you have a driver's license.
Okay, well I do.
So, do you want to drop the attitude and make it through the traffic
Well,
stop?
are you going to
what
drop
do you
the
want to do?
attitude?
I have
You
no
have a
attitude.
power trip.
No, ma'am. You have insurance for the vehicle?
Of course.
And where would that insurance be?
On an app.
On an app. Okay.
And I'm sure you can pull it up too.
I'm sure that I can pull it up too.
Y'all have that in your system?
I'll try to pull it up. But in the event that I can't, then I'll be writing you a citation.
That's
since
fine,
you're unable
go
to
ahead.
present it. Okay? Are you at a point where we can have a conversation now?
Are you at a point?
Are you going to keep asking me the same questions?
Your
Do you want me to?
tone is-
Would you
your
like me to
tone
take
is
you out
bad.
of the handcuffs, ma'am?
Yes, I need
Okay.
to be out of the handcuffs.
Now, a simple traffic stop has to be taken into consideration. I asked you to
That's
roll the
your
window.
fault, though.
It's not my fault. I gave you a lawful
Look
order
at your
to
tone,
roll
sir.
the window
Look
down.
at your tone.
I gave you a lawful order to roll the window down. You failed to do so.
What's the purpose
I
of
told
the
you to
pulling
get
over?
out of the vehicle, which I have the right to do, which you failed to do again. And then when I did try to remove you from the vehicle, you then resisted me.
I
All
did
of
not
those
resist
things.
you at
Yes,
all.
ma'am, you did.
No,
you
I
pulled away
didn't.
from me.
No,
You
I
certainly
didn't.
did.
This part right here saw you do. That's why you keep passing by. But I did not resist you whatsoever. You were already in the bad mood.
I'm not having court with you here on the side of the road.
Well, that's fine. Give me
Okay.
my ticket or whatever you are, and then leave. And then I want to speak to your supervisor or whomever
That's
I
great.
need to speak to.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Perfect.
You're welcome to go
Tomorrow.
down there. Okay? You're receiving a citation for an obscured license plate because that cover that's on there you can't have. So I need you to sign right here on the blue X. It's not an admission of guilt. It's saying that you're going to contact the court on or before the date that's on the citation.
Is your information on there?
It is. My badge number and my name are all on that citation that you have now. All right? You're free to go. No, ma'am. I'm not obligated to get you a supervisor, and I am a supervisor. You're free to go, so go on about your day.
I will.
That would be just fine.
So, from your perspective, explain sort of why you feel that this was done wrong. That what caused your pain from all this? Like, how could it have been handled differently? Like, what would you have liked to have seen different out of the situation?
I believe from the beginning he came in hot, immediately asking me to roll down my window, when that's just not normal practice. My front window was completely down. Normally they approach you, they say who they are, who they work for, and ask for your license and your insurance. So it all started pretty rough. Then he asked me to roll down the back window. I said, what for? And once he said he might get shot, he could get shot in the face, that just instantly scared me. I was afraid if he was already thinking that way, what's to stop him from escalating it even more?
What I would think if he said that too is he's probably already got his hand on his gun, like, ready to, so that is a scary situation.
Yes.
Go ahead,
And then once he tried to open my door the first time, that was pretty scary. And then him reaching in my vehicle, unlocking my doors, and that was pretty tough.
For sure. Yeah, and then especially, when he tells you to get out of the vehicle and he kind of, does he grab you?
As soon as he opens that my front door, I told him that it was wrong and I needed to record.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to hit record, and it took too long. That whole time was 6 seconds before he pulled me out.
Right.
And so I'm trying to hit record. It's so hard when you're scared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then he grabs my wrist and he's holding it and trying to pull me out, or he's pulling me out at the same time. And then that's when he immediately twists my left arm behind my back while pulling my hair. And then that's when he handcuffs me. But in the video, you'll see that my left hand was handcuffed differently than my right, and you see how he used more force on the right, and I think that's where I was, or I don't think that is where I was injured.
So what happened with the injury? Yeah, because the thing that bothered me the most, probably overall, like you said, I felt like right out of the gates he was very aggressive. I felt like it was very unnecessary. Get out of the vehicle immediately, all this stuff. And then, like I said, the thing that bothered me though was the way how rough he was with handcuffing you. So what happened there exactly?
Um,
I mean, he hurt your shoulder, right?
Yeah, I have a rotator cuff injury. I just got an injection a couple of weeks ago, and now I have to do physical therapy on my shoulder and my neck.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's no joke. And so after that, he, you guys argued for a minute. He went and he wrote the ticket or whatever. But you knew instantly that you were going to be filing some kind of complaint, right?
Yes, I knew I was going to file a complaint. It just started off bad, and him reaching in my vehicle, that definitely was a warning sign.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think you could have done differently to make the situation go a little better? Like, where do you see your faults in the situation?
I honestly don't feel like I should have done anything differently.
Okay.
I responded the way I needed to respond in that situation. The whole stop was abnormal,
Yeah.
and so I'm able to question that. And I'm not responsible for how he's feeling or his actions.
Right.
And I spoke to the chief deputy, and he said that something happened at Crawford's child's school that made him upset, and that's why he responded and was so quick with me. And I'm not responsible for his actions, just like he's not responsible for my feelings or my actions. But I have PTSD with men, and I feel like I handled that situation perfectly fine.
Okay, yeah, that's a good answer. So you're exactly right. Like, when it comes down to professionalism, like no matter what's going on in your personal life, especially in this line of work, you cannot bring that into the professional realm and allow it to affect others' safety, especially like psychological well-being. And so so the ticket was for the license plate being obscured. But so what happened? You challenged it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with that?
I just took the pictures of the plate covers. After the stop, after I had my little panic attack in the car after everything happened, I went and took a picture of the plate cover that was on my vehicle, and then the following day, a coworker took off the plate covers for me, and that was pretty much it.
Okay, yeah. So the ticket was dismissed, right?
Yes.
Nice. Now here's where it gets a little crazy. So believe it or not, Officer Crawford was the police officer who worked at your daughter's school, right?
Yes.
So what happened with that?
So after he gave me the ticket and I got in my car, I stayed in my car. Deputy Crawford was pulling away, and he was mean mugging me. And of course, my little girl's in the front seat. She saw everything. And she tells me, "Mom, he works at my school." So then she's scared. She tries to convince me not to go back to school. She's telling me she's scared. She doesn't know what he'll do. The man that's supposed to protect her at school is the man that hurt her mommy.
That's right. Terrified of him.
Yes, and so I convinced her that it was going to be okay, and I convinced her to go back to school, and so she started having panic attacks when she saw him. So I tried my best to go to the sheriff department almost every day to speak to somebody about it. But all they did was take my name and my number, and then I would call to see if I could speak to somebody, and they would take my name and number as well. And it was like that for about 3 weeks until I was able to speak to somebody. We caught Chief Deputy when he was headed to his vehicle, and I was able to talk to him and told him the situation. We watched the video together.
Wow, yeah.
And that's whenever he told me Crawford was having a bad day. And that they would just speak to Crawford and tell him, or review the video with him and tell him what he did that was wrong. But the following day after that, the sheriff called me and he apologized, and he told me that they were going to go ahead and remove Crawford out of my daughter's school.
Wow, yeah. So they did? They removed him?
Yeah, but that was a month after all this had happened. I mean, she's already had panic attacks at school. I had to put her in counseling.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't
Wow.
have been that long.
Yeah.
From the code that or the ticket that he gave me, there was a code on there. So if you look up that code, it tells you what you can do to get it dismissed, as long as you corrected the issue.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You
So
take,
they're not admitting that it's their fault. They're just saying you can fix it by doing.
well, in the yeah, so you can fix it and do it that way. But whenever I showed the prosecutor the picture of
Yeah.
the plate cover, he said there was nothing wrong with it. And he's like, "You got a ticket for this?" And I was like, "Yes, sir."
That's what I don't get either. Yeah.
So he immediately, he's like, "Let's go," you know, or he asked me to tell him my story of what happened. So I did. He had mixed feelings on everything that happened and how it was handled. And then he's like, "Let's just go in front of the judge." And
Really?
he asked
Yeah.
for it to be dismissed.
Oh, interesting.
And then he told the judge that there was more to the story and that he would tell her whenever she was, when she was able to listen.
Oh, okay, interesting. So overall, yes, the ticket got dismissed. Yes, the sheriff apologized after, it took a while, and Crawford was removed from your daughter's school. So they did some things to rectify the situation, but overall, how do you feel that the sheriff's department handled it?
I don't think they handled it right.
Okay.
Only because I had, in order for them to investigate, I had to reach out to the police department, and I thought I could file assault charges against Crawford through them.
Well, and why weren't you able to? Because, I mean, you had a rotator cuff injury, right? So why are you not able to do that?
The sheriff department has to do their own investigation on their staff and their own complaints. And so I think that's what made it difficult, because right after I reached out to police department, told them about the situation, they reached out to the sheriff and staff at the sheriff department. And then the following week, Crawford's supervisor reached out to me, and he was telling me the results of his investigation, and he said that everything that Crawford did was lawful and justified. He said that I was the one that was being aggressive from the first word I said. He said that I was resisting. He also said that I had said that I was not stepping out of the vehicle several times. He said that Crawford tried telling me multiple times why I was being pulled, or why he pulled me over, which he didn't. So the supervisor was able to say all these things that, when you see the video, it was not true. I think he was really upset because, or I heard that they're going to say that I was passively resisting because I didn't immediately get out. I had explained to them that it took 6 seconds for me to get out of the vehicle after he already opened it, and they said that I'm admitting there that I knew that I needed to step out and I was not stepping out. But 6 seconds is not enough time to respond to anybody's requests. Like, I was still processing everything. I was still trying to press record.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and I get why you were doing that, because I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Is you're frantically trying to hit record so that you have your own evidence. So I get that.
Yes. They found that Crawford had issues with his conduct and courtesy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they had already told me from the beginning, or the supervisor had told me, all they're going to do is tell him to be nicer to people.
Yeah.
Which is not right. His one bad day caused many bad days for me and my family.
Yeah, that's true. So what would you say to Deputy Crawford? I mean, if you could say anything to him.
To Crawford, I would like to say that I'm not a criminal based off the neighborhood I can afford to live in. I am not a criminal because of the pretty plate covers I had on my vehicle. I am a mother. I am someone's co-worker. I am a friend, and I'm a woman, and I shouldn't have been handled the way I was because I asked a question. I know there's going to be people out there that watch this video and that are going to be upset because I didn't roll down that back window. But nobody knows how they would handle that situation until they are in it.
That's right.
And I think I handled it the way I needed to. And I know there's going to be people out there that know the law and know that I don't have to roll down my back window, know that he didn't double lock the handcuffs, know that he handcuffed me wrong. There's going to be people out there that see all that stuff, but I believe I handled it the way I needed to handle it, and I was not aggressive. I didn't break the law in the process, and that's where I stand in that.
That's fantastic. That's exactly right. And I think that's really what it comes down to right there, is that, you know, we shouldn't be treated that way, you know, as citizens, assumed that you're a criminal, assumed that something's going to go wrong. And I understand they have to protect themselves, but, you know, there's a way to be professional and to do it the right way. And I think it's important to showcase some of these situations like this one, you know, and I'm sorry you had to go through this. I really am, because I from my opinion, I really do think it could have been handled differently, and all that pain and the trauma your daughter's going through could have been avoided. It's just unfortunate that he had to handle it that way.
Yes.
But all right, guys. Well, let us know what you think. If you know, there are two sides to every story, of course. But if you have a story of your own, don't hesitate to send us a message. We'd like to see it, critique it.
What up, say?
All right, guys. Take care.
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. 2 times for